Britain's spy chief warning that ISIS is planning an attack on the country. The MI5 Director General Andrew Parker says the current threat from homegrown terrorists is the highest level he has seen in his 32-year career. KT McFarland is with me now, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense in the Reagan administration, the Fox News national security analyst. KT, this is so scary, this idea of these homegrown terrorists planning. And actually, Andrew Parker gave the number of how many have already been thwarted. What does this mean for us here? How many are we facing every day that we're thwarting?
Here's the significance of what he said. He talked about mass casualty attacks. What we've seen in the last couple of years are not mass casualty attacks. It's been a couple of things. It's been either citizens, Western citizens, United States, British citizens. They go, they learn how to fight in Syria and Iraq. They come back. They might commit acts of terror, but they're not mass casualties. The other thing we see, the second thing, is they're recruited online. They never go train in the Middle East. They just get recruited online. The first time you ever notice them is when they emerge from the basement and try to do something.
Yeah, and Andrew Parker said to that point something like, this is the first time he admitted in public that the UK is actually now going into the computers, cracking the codes, basically invading privacy to...
Well, not invading privacy. I mean, they're doing, this is not an invasion of privacy. This is a defense of the nation. The third thing, though, that worries me, and he didn't talk about this, is what's happening with all these refugees. I mean, there are probably 1 million refugees. They're mostly men. 80% of them are men between 18 and 35. Even if a small percentage of these million of them are terrorists that are sort of scattered in and hidden amongst the refugees, what do they do when they get to Europe? And then the second thing is, even if people aren't terrorists, when they get to Europe, there are no jobs. The state economies are stretched to the limit. They're not going to get processed. It's going to be a really cold winter. Are these potential recruits down the road, even if they don't start out?
They're dealing with frustration.
Absolutely.
And that just breeds.
It feeds on it.
It does indeed. Speaking of frustration, 2 Russian warplanes buzzing by within a mile of the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier. So the U.S. Navy launched 4 fighter jets in response. This is according to a source. I mean, are we getting closer to a head-to-head conflict with Russia?
No, I think what we're seeing, and we will see a lot more of it in the next year, is that other countries realize lame duck president, so far been quite weak. He's withdrawn from the world. We're going to get what we can while the getting's good. You're seeing it with the Chinese in the South China Sea trying to claim islands as their own territory. You're seeing it with the Russians in the Middle East. You're seeing with it Iran trying to expand its influence. And so it's kind of like everybody senses there's blood in the water. We're sharks. We're going to go see if we can get what we can get. And so you'll see more and more sort of nudgings, pings that other countries are going to do. They're not doing anything that's necessarily illegal, but they're really getting right up into America's face. The question will be, how do we respond? Hopefully, we push back, because otherwise,
but you're right. So far, the messaging has been, we're not going to do anything.
No, we've been in the beta dog position, right? And we've got a lot of alpha dogs in the universe right now. We need to sort of man up and stand up.
KT McFarland, great to have you here. So
Thanks,
good. The Fox News national analyst.